Are you still spending thousands of dollars at professional recording studios, only to leave feeling like your music didn't get the attention it deserved? What if I told you that you could make recordings that sound just as good, if not better, on your own and save yourself a ton of cash in the process? Over the past 12 years, I've helped countless bands produce aggressive music they're proud to release, all without stepping foot into a professional studio. If you're tired of spending your hard-earned money on studio fees and want to take control of your sound, stick around, because today we're diving into why professional recording studios are overrated and why you could do it better on your own. I'm sure this will sound familiar to a lot of you. Your band finally decides to record an album. You pool your money and you go to a professional studio, thinking this would be the golden ticket to a polished sound. Fast forward, you're staring at your final product, and honestly, it sounded like everything you wanted to avoid. Sterile, overproduced, and devoid of the raw energy you had in your live shows. This is not a unique experience. It makes you question, why are we spending all this money on a studio that doesn't understand our vision? The problem often isn't your gear or even your skill as musicians. It's the disconnect between what you wanted and what the studio was giving you. You don't need a $500 a day studio. You just need the right tools, the right environment, and the right mindset. The lesson here is simple. Professional studios often fail to capture the authenticity and energy of a band. They're more concerned with perfection than passion. And that's a big reason why recording on your own is a better option. It lets you stay true to your sound while giving you the freedom to experiment and create something that represents you, not just what the studio thinks will sell. All right, now let's get into it. Why are professional recording studios overrated, and why should you seriously consider recording your band on your own? Let's start with the obvious, studio fees. A decent professional studio could run anywhere from $50 to $200 per hour. Multiply that by the hours it takes to track everything, then throw in mixing and mastering fees, and you're looking at thousands of dollars. If you're a metal band, that's money better spent on gear or promotion. For the cost of just one studio session, you can set up your own home studio with all the tools you need to get pro-quality recordings. Next up is creative control. One of the biggest benefits of recording on your own is the complete creative control you get. In a studio, you're often under pressure to get everything done quickly, and there's a huge chance the final product won't match your vision. Recording at home, you could take your time, experiment with different sounds, and really hone in on the vibe you're going for. It's your music, and you should have the freedom to make it exactly how you want. All right, so next is the gear is accessible. When it comes to gear, you no longer need to spend a fortune. The technology available to home recorders today is more than enough to create killer recordings. High-quality microphones, audio interfaces, and software are all within reach for bands on a budget. And let's not forget about the wealth of online tutorials and resources to help you learn the ins and outs of recording. You don't need a fancy studio to sound professional. You need the right knowledge and tools. Next, the power of DIY. I get it. The idea of recording your own band can sound daunting, especially if you don't have experience. With a little dedication, you'll learn a ton, and that knowledge will pay off in the long run. The learning curve is real, but think of it this way. You're not just making music, you're building a skill set that's going to help you throughout your entire career. Plus, DIY recording can be super fun, especially when you get that final mix and you hear your own hard work pay off. And finally, energy and authenticity. When you're recording in a professional studio, there's often a focus on making everything perfect. But perfection isn't what makes metal music special. It's the energy, the rawness, the aggression. That's why recording in your own environment, where you feel comfortable and in control, is the best way to capture your sound. Whether it's the way your guitar screams on a distorted track or the way your drums hit hard in a breakdown, that's what metal's about. And you won't always get that energy from a sterile, controlled studio environment. So here's the deal. If you're still relying on professional studios to record your band, I want you to reconsider. Start small, get some basic gear, and begin recording at home. Trust me, once you get the hang of it, you'll be creating music that sounds even better than what you'd pay for at some overpriced studio. Don't be afraid to experiment, and don't be afraid to fail. It's all part of the process. If you're unsure where to start, hit me up on Instagram, @liquid_studios, and I'll share some of the gear I recommend and how I personally approach recording. Let's build a DIY recording community that proves we don't need a professional studio to make professional quality metal music. This was a short one, but if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave me a review wherever you're listening. And as always, keep rocking, keep writing, and keep making metal that slays. Until next time, this is Dan, and I'll catch you on the next episode.